One evening, Bill got home really late and his wife was already waiting for him with suitcases by her side. In complete confusion, Bill asked, "What is going on?" "I will be staying with my friend Lisa for a couple of weeks, and if you don't change, I will be leaving you forever." From a young age, Bill's parents knew he would be someone great in the future. He was a bright, strong child who learned quickly, and Bill's teachers often praised him because he had excellent grades. Unlike many children his age, Bill was never shy and never struggled with making friends. Everyone seemed to like him, and he seemed to always get things done just right. He was very dedicated and always made sure that he completed his homework. In addition to studies, he also played chess and was one of the best local players. Bill was also actively working out, and he always made time to work out in the gym or go for a run in the nearby woods. Despite all these additional activities, his grades were excellent and he was at the top of his class. Once Bill got into the prestigious university, however, things changed quite rapidly. The subjects were more challenging and the teachers were more demanding, but Bill still wanted to find time for non-academic activities that he enjoyed. He was no longer at the top of his class, but instead he was barely getting by. If he didn't do something about it fast, he may have to drop out, and Bill couldn't imagine doing anything else outside studying law. One day, Bill was sharing a table in the university cafe with one of the professors who gave him advice that saved his law degree. After taking the professor's advice, Bill scaled back on outside activities and started to focus more attention on studies. Instead of spending his evenings playing chess, he would be in the library and learning as much as he could. He also started to refuse invitations to hang out with his friends when he had to prepare for important exams. It wasn't a quick fix, but by focusing all of his attention towards studies, he was able to get back on track. After graduating from university, Bill landed a well-paying job with a major law firm. He quickly made friends and became a valuable member of the team with his work ethic and attitude. Excited to have finally made it, he settled into his new life by getting himself a nice apartment in the town center. It seemed all had turned out well for Bill, who had his whole life ahead of him. Shortly after getting a job, Bill proposed to his longtime girlfriend, who had been supporting him along the way. Later that same year, they got married, and after the wedding, they went on a lovely honeymoon where they spent time by the sea. Bill had strong family values, and when his wife got pregnant, Bill vowed to spend time with his family. At work, Bill got promoted for his excellent performance, and his boss told him that he had a bright future with the company. A few months later, his wife gave birth to a baby girl, and it was one of the best moments of his life. As his family was growing, he was considering buying a new house, and because of that, he started to take on more and more clients. But it was not long before Bill found himself struggling to cope with the demands of his new position and additional clients. Bill was committed to his family, and despite his busy schedule, he tried to spend time with them by getting home early. On the outside, things looked to be okay. But on the inside, Bill was losing his mind. He had bitten off more than he could chew. He was slowly losing control, and this was a new feeling for someone who is used to having everything under control. His responsibilities increased daily. The workload was more than usual, and his clients were more and more demanding. Bill had become exceedingly good at multitasking, but it turned out the more he tried to multitask, the more he lost control. His dreams were slowly becoming a nightmare. Bill did not know what to do, and not being used to seeking help, Bill tried to shoulder the heavy burden, and he kept pressing on. Soon, Bill started drinking, and he would come back home very late and smelling of alcohol. His wife tried to help, but it was in vain because Bill's pride stood in the way, and he wasn't ready to accept the fact that things were out of his control. It wasn't long before Bill went back on his promises. He spent more and more time at work and less time with his family. Over time, his drinking habit became worse, as it was his coping mechanism to deal with everything that was going on. As a result, Bill started losing his cases because he didn't prepare well enough, and with that, his clients left one after the other. His boss questioned him to find out what was going on, but Bill just said that everything was fine and he would sort things out. But actually, things were just about to get even worse. At home, Bill had started to argue with his wife like it was she who had caused the problems. He would spend his evenings trying to work on some cases, but his productivity would be almost zero. This late-night arguing continued, and his wife decided that enough was enough. She spoke with some of her friends and agreed that it would be better for her and the child to stay with them for some time. One evening, Bill got home really late, and his wife was already waiting for him with suitcases by her side. In complete confusion, Bill asked, "What is going on?" "I will be staying with my friend Lisa for a couple of weeks, and if you don't change, I will be leaving you forever." And just like that, everyone was gone, and Bill was on his own. That was a tipping point of his life. If before things were getting worse, then now he just hit rock bottom. Bill was not one of those people who would call a friend and ask for help, so he had to search from within. So he turned to memories and previous experiences. The first memories he had was how much he enjoyed spending time with his wife. Then he remembered some things that didn't work out due to his indecisiveness and lack of planning. And then he remembered that one time he was sharing a table in the university cafe with one of the professors who gave him advice. At that time, Bill was also struggling, and his advice helped him. The professor said, "You seem to be taking on a lot of activities, and this will burn you out." "What should I do?" asked Bill. "Try practicing mindfulness. It will clear your mind and enable you to focus on the most important things." Bill instantly started to research and learn more about mindfulness. After that, Bill started to meditate daily first thing in the morning, and sometimes in the afternoon if he needed to clear his mind. This is it, Bill realized. I need to go back to practicing mindfulness. Bill quickly started reading more about mindfulness and the power of being present in the moment, setting priorities, and focusing on one thing at a time instead of trying to do everything at once. He could see how the concept of mindfulness could be applied in his present situation. Mindfulness requires a clear mind and self-control. And for someone like him, who for years had taken pride in switching easily between activities, Bill realized how much work he had to do. The more he read, the more he knew what to do. He had to break down his life into chunks and take on each chunk one after the other. On a notepad, Bill quickly wrote down his priorities. His list started with family, then health, then work, and finally other social engagements. Right there, Bill decided to work on each of these priorities. First, he invited his wife for dinner, and he apologized for everything that had happened in the past few months. She accepted his apology, but said that he would have to earn back her trust. Bill also started to wake up early in the morning and meditate for at least 30 minutes before heading out for an early morning run. To keep himself organized, he allocated a specific time slot for each activity, and during that time, he would focus on nothing else but that one thing. At work, Bill was full of energy and his performance was better than ever before. He had to make sure that he took care of his existing clients, so for some time, he didn't take on any new ones. After about 4 weeks, his wife moved back in with him, and that was his ultimate goal since he started to change his life around. That evening, he felt grateful that they were all back together. One day, as he was taking a break in the coffee shop, he had an idea. He bought a postcard, signed it, and sent it to the professor who gave him life-changing advice on practicing mindfulness.